When one group of organism depends upon other group of organism for its food, then they form a chain. It is called food chain. There is a diagram in your textbook about food chain. I'll first explain you what are the members of food chain or what makes food chain. See, this all is happening in the ecosystem. So food chain, living organisms, they all are present in the ecosystem. What are the members? There are producers. Producers means all green plants which can make their own food. We also call them as autotrophs. You all know this, you have studied in 8th standard. Now animals which eat these green plants, they are called as primary consumers. Primary consumers are herbivores, means which eat plants and green grass, flowers, fruits. So their food is autotrophs, means primary consumers, they will depend upon these producers for their food. Then secondary consumers. Secondary consumers are those animals which will eat these herbivores animals. So secondary consumers are carnivores. Okay, they will use herbivores as their food. I am going to give you examples of this. First, try to remember the terms. Next will be apex or top consumers. These consumers are again carnivores, and who will be their food? The primary as well as the secondary consumer. Top consumers or apex consumers will use this herbivore animal and this carnivores animal as their food. Okay, so why we call them as apex or top consumers? Because there is no other animal which is going to eat them. Then lastly, there are omnivores. Omnivores are those which can eat plants, vegetables, fruits also, and they can eat some group of animals also. Like for example, bear and human beings. We eat vegetarian food also, plus we eat chicken, fish and all. So we come under this category, omnivores. Here, with the help of this cycle, I am going to tell you what consumers you have just seen in previous video. Primary consumers, secondary, tertiary. I'll give you examples over here, and this diagram also tells you what is a food chain. This food chain happens in every ecosystem. So first we have, it is green plant or green grass, any green color plant or tree, it is producer. Then the insects which will eat these plants, they are primary consumers. Producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumer and apex consumer. Now in apex consumer, here I can also write tiger, lion, which will eat this eagle and snake. Now what happens to this apex consumers? When they die, they get buried in the soil, and there are microorganisms, bacteria present in the soil. They convert these apex consumers into compost. So microorganism and bacteria are called decomposers. We will see this more in detail when we actually study the lesson. This was just a revision of basic concepts.